So I recently started watching Game of Thrones, and I only started watching it about 2 weeks ago. I've heard about Game of Thrones for years, but of course at first I didn't want to watch it because I thought it would be overrated because everyone was always talking about it, and I knew that it was a very controversial show, so at first I was like, I'm not gonna watch it. But then I became interested in this TV show called Vikings, and I started watching Vikings. I binge watched Vikings for about a month, and Vikings is one of those shows that you have to wait a long time for it to come back once you finish watching it. So after I finished watching Vikings, I needed another TV show to watch to keep me occupied while I waited for Vikings to come back on. And that's sort of how I started watching Game of Thrones. It happened very randomly. I was on YouTube looking through my homepage where it shows you what to watch, and I just saw a trailer for Game of Thrones. It had about 15 million views, and I was just like, okay, let me watch this since it's here. And I watched the trailer, and it looked interesting, so I was like, okay, let me watch the show. Let me give it a chance. Let me watch one episode and see if I like it. If I like it, I will watch more of it. If I don't, then I won't watch it anymore. So I watched the show, the first episode, and learned about Ned Stark and his family and all that. And I think it was the first episode that Bran, the little boy, was pushed out the window, I think. And I became hooked. I was like, okay, let me watch another episode. And then I watched another episode and then another episode. And that's how I became hooked on Game of Thrones. I ended up watching the whole series from season 1 to season 5 in about 2 or 3 weeks. So now I can say that I am actually a huge Game of Thrones fan now. I went from not liking it, or at least thinking that I won't like it, to being obsessed with it. So now I'm just waiting for it to come back. I'm excited. I can't wait for Game of Thrones to come back, and I hope it comes back quickly. So that's all I have to say. I'm gonna actually make another video talking about my reaction to some of the things that happened in Game of Thrones, such as the Red Wedding and Jon Snow. So stick around for my next video on those topics.